I've said it very, very infrequently because people recoil, but there are many things in Luther, as I was writing it, I thought, this is bizarre. I see this in Donald Trump. What do I mean? Luther had an uncanny ability to speak to the common man. Now, he was an intellectual. He was a genius.
Right.
He could speak at the highest level, operate at the highest level, but he had an ability to speak to the common man, often with coarse joking. Yes. Does that sound familiar? Yes. Because he was making a connection. And most people at that time thought, we've never seen anyone who speaks our language, who acknowledges us as though we matter. The elites have governed without any reference to us. They have had power, but God used a rough man named Martin Luther. You know, his friends all told him, listen, Martin, don't tweet after 2 a.m. It was that kind of a thing. But God used him. He was a bit of a bull in a china shop. There's no question about it. But God used him to do something. God fashioned him for that. And even when I think we joke around about Twitter, but the fact is that the parallel, the printing press had just been invented. And so for the first time ever, you had the ability, Martin Luther could write something and it would be printed very cheaply and just fly around so that everyone read it. This had never happened before in the history of the world. So he did an end run around the cultural elites. The cultural elites 100 years earlier with Jan Hus in 1415, they didn't like what he had to say. They crushed him like a bug. He didn't have the recourse. The printing press hadn't been invented. Luther would write these things and they would fly around and suddenly everyone is talking about it. Somebody is saying what we're thinking. Somebody is speaking for us. And that's what happened with Trump and Twitter.